Ladies and gentlemen, I am clear, and I'd like to welcome you all to the call this morning. Um, yes, so we we broke off last week when we were talking about building a name list, and the building a name list. There are basically two areas we look at. The people you know and the people you meet. We talked about the people we know, and we went through how we come up with that list. It was very, 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 very clear. For those that are helping other people build the business, it's always important that we teach people how to come up with the list, because oftentimes people do not know where they're going to start from. They don't know who they are going to talk to. They are literally thinking about 2, 3 people that they think can actually be able to use or buy, use or build this business with. And oftentimes those 2, 3 people, those 5 people they have in their head are usually the people that are going to disappoint them, because that's just the way it is. You you have to go through the numbers in order to be able to pick up on the beautiful things that New Life has to offer. And then, of course, some other people make a list, but the list eventually runs dry because guess what? You can only meet so many people. Yeah. So even if you had about 1,000 people, at the end of the day, eventually you'll find that you still need to meet some new people so that you keep on adding of names to your name list. Okay, then we identify that that's what the professionals do. They make a written list where you look at all the people you know. I mean, everybody goes onto the list. We talked about that. Everybody gets onto the list. Your relatives, your friends, whether they have known about New Life before or not, whether and the list are so many, from your social media list to your phone book list to, every single person that you've had the opportunity of knowing in your life onto the list. Then after that, you ensure that every other day that passes by, you are in a place to meet new people, or you are positioned to meet new people so that you can keep on growing your name list. And we observe that people who do not add names to their name lists, people who are not growing their name list on a weekly or daily basis, usually get stuck. And that's where the challenge is. Please note that the purpose of uh, looking and approaching the people you know, and the purpose of ensuring that you learn how to meet people, is so that you have a continuous flow of exposure of the New Life solutions to the different people you meet in your life. If you're not exposing New Life to the different people you meet in your life, then you have no business. Yeah, our business is premised and grounded in exposing to people what we have to offer. And that is very, very critical. That is very, very key. So for those that are on the call this morning, the skill that we want to pass on to you is, how do we meet people actually? What does it take to meet people? Now, we have 2 situations as we meet people. Some of us, when you go out there, your intention is to actually sell to people products. And it's okay, because many times when someone starts in your life, they tend to think that the big money is in being a very good salesperson, which is not true. The big money is actually in teaching, ability to teach people and educate them about the relevance and importance of whatever solutions that we have, especially the products that we offer, and the business opportunity. So That's what the big money is. It's in teaching as opposed to selling. Does a product have to move? Of course, we are paid money uh, in your life because of how much product is moving. But the biggest amount of product that moves through sponsoring, through making sure that the people we have sponsored come to learn how to also use and distribute. It therefore becomes very important for us to understand the difference between these two things, hunting and fishing. Yeah. So usually, uh, when your focus is on selling the products, uh, many times even the things that you do lead you to hunting. If your focus is on sponsoring, so that the people you've sponsored uh, are able to also use and distribute the products and teach other people how to use and distribute the products, then your focus should be on fishing. So, basically speaking, if you long to sell, then you're probably going to hunt. If your objective is to sponsor, then you're probably going to fish. I would like to state right from the word go that for every distributor that is on the call this morning, your objective should be to fish. Only become a hunter. You only become a hunter if the fishing about, if the person you're trying to sponsor is not interested, and that's now your opportunity to turn them as a no into a customer. So when you are looking at turning some of the people that are not interested in building with us the business, they don't want to become distributors, then that is when now you change your guns and you start hunting. So obviously, both fishing and hunting are very, very key, depending on the level you've reached with the prospect. But what is most important is that every time we wake up in the morning, is that we go out there to fish, opposed to hunting. So hunting is only something that comes on board when you want to convert the person who has not appreciated the opportunity, the person who has said no to the opportunity, into a customer. Now, both activities, as you will see, hunting, what does hunting involve? I'm sure I don't want to work your brains so much this morning, but I'm sure you've heard of the stories around hunting. For example, okay, when someone goes out to hunt, what are they going to do? Out with dogs, uh, they probably have all these traps, they have all these nets put around, they have their spears, like you see that man. And what happens in the case of hunting is that it's a chase. So we wake up in the morning, and if your mindset is one of hunting, you're going to be chasing people one after the other. You're going to come from this person, you're going to chase that one, you're going to chase that one. And there's so many ways we actually chase people. We chase people when we follow them up to their offices. We are chasing them. We chase people when we are so uh, focused on making sure that we're trying to but when you give free samples, you offer transport refunds, all those are forms of hunting. And every time you chase someone, or by the time you pick, or by the time if you look at the hunting, what happens during hunting, when you test after an animal, eventually by the time you pick it, has either landed in a trap or you have probably killed it with either a gun or a spear. So by the time you bring it, um, you're literally bringing it as dead. And and usually that's what sometimes happens with our prospects. We chase after them so much, but that by the time they are accepting us to they're accepting us and accepting the opportunity, guess what? They're already dead. They're not that interested. And usually also your growth of a prospect or the way a person grows after becoming a distributor depends on what technique you used when you are sponsoring them into the business. If you brought them into the business while hunting them, it is you that went after them. You're the one that was looking for them. You're the one that was continuously calling them. You are the one that was over SMSing them. You're the one that was over talking in the process. Try and convince them to become distributors. Then what usually happens, even after they've become distributors, the hunting continues. You'll be forcing them to come for the trainings every morning. You'll be forcing them to basically do things that have to do with them benefiting them in the business. Because at the end of the day, that is the approach that you used. However, on the other side, we have the fishing. So when it comes to fishing, as you can see that gentleman there, you sit down, you relax, you put bait. Bait is something that can attract the fish at the end of your hook there. Maybe like what? You're looking at a worm, and then you put your your fishing rod there. You place your worm at the end, and then you dip it into the water, and then you just wait for the fish to come to you. Fishing, uh, and I'll just go through it just now, requires that you are the one providing the opportunity. You know, I want you to think about it. If this opportunity is going to has rewarded so many people. I mean, we are going to Paris this month. What a few months ago in Mauritius. The truth is, the monthly incomes that come through this opportunity, we have a couple of people that are earning in excess of 1 million shillings. You know, you're talking about several individuals right out there. What maybe about let me see, people that are earning about $500 to $1,000 all across East Africa. You're talking about what? About 600 people out there that are actually building and using this opportunity to provide for their families. Now, I want you to think about it. Think about the one of the organizations you'd want to be associated with. You know, if maybe it's the United Nations or what, MTN, Safaricom, Vodacom. Some people have the organize. Maybe it could be the tax authority, and it is on call. You know, they have actually the tax authority set out some applications, some job applications some time back. Are they going to come looking for you in your home to apply for those jobs? You know, are they going to come looking for you wherever you are? You know, so that's the same thing with the opportunity we have got. We are providing people with the opportunity. You need to first of all hold it in high regard that what you've got is of value to different people. And sometimes this is why I used to tell a lot of people that um, when you think about it, I am so confident with the opportunity I've got that even if I met another contemporary, even if I met, say, like Sylvia Mulingi, best CEO as she was shared, she was recognized. I am still confident that I also have something to offer. Yes, you are the CEO of MTN, but guess what? I'm the CEO of my own business, and I have this tree name that you've not got in MTN. So I'll still be very confident in my shoes because I know I have something that no one else has, that the other individual that I'm prospecting does not have. Yeah. So when you're fishing, you need to appreciate that is it's important that you take your opportunity. I regard some of us still look at this opportunity as a very small business where people are probably selling products. Ladies and gentlemen, those products that you're talking about, life changing. The opportunity that you've brought to people is life changing. It's an opportunity that has changed millions of people's lives all across the world. So you need to understand and help yourself appreciate. And it takes time convincing, but it starts with you working towards it. You need to take your opportunity in high regard. You need to look at it as the best available opportunity, an individual out there. Okay. Then when we are fishing, people have to come to you. You know, so you have to attract people to yourself. You are the bait. You know, and that's why we take time saying that, you know, work hard on yourself than you work on the job. Because the more attractive you look, the more uh 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 what can I use? The more people look up to you, as you conduct yourself, how you conduct yourself, how you you relate with different individuals out there is what actually attracts people to you. You know, um, looking at how you dress, for example, looking at what the kind of knowledge you expose. When you open your mouth to talk, you talking life. Are you bringing life into the community, or you're the negative person? You know, sometimes you stay among people and you're among the people that is also complaining about the economy. Sometimes yes, maybe it may be biting you, but you might want to to keep quiet because no one wants to hang around a negative, unhappy person. So you want people to be attracted to you, and your image is very key. Actually, a lot of us during the fishing process are supposed to focus on our personal image, you know, how you dressed, especially how you conduct yourself is very key. And some of the benefits of this is actually through using the products. If you're using the products, right from the healthcare to like skincare to your cleaning products, eventually you'll find that people will actually be attracted to you. And that's why there's a lot of power in using the products. Sometimes I've seen people grow their business simply because they were able to use the products. They looked more attractive. They became different. They became more lively. They were happier. Their faces were glowing, and people were able to come to them and were asking them, "So what are you doing? What has changed since we last met?" So people buy you before they buy the opportunity. So you must have the right equipment as you go out there to fish. Your tools have to be clean. Your products, whatever you are going to present as sample products, have to be right on point. The kind of pen that you're using. If you're talking to a prospect and your pen is all beaten, all that is part of looking very unattractive. Having a very well beaten pen, disorganized. So basically, when you are talking about providing this opportunity to different people, you're talking about fishing. You're talking about, and let me tell you what comes with fishing. Like you've seen in that picture that we were looking at before. Um, Fishing has an element of sitting down, and sometimes people are so impatient. People want to get things on immediately. Just a minute. I'm trying to. Yes. When you look at that picture, people want to. There's an element of fishing has an element of waiting, being patient. Sometimes I'll be in a group of people and I'll make sure that I am attractive in what I say, what I do, how I look. But then it will take me time before I actually identify individuals in that group that are actually going to be sponsored. There has to be something to do with relationship building. So this whole fishing thing has an element of being patient. If you're one person who is, quick, 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 and you have got no time. So you want to introduce the person to the opportunity, but then you are, basically hunting after them. Guess what? It's not going to work for you as you want it to work because sometimes, also I also want to just make it clear that being patient does not mean that you're slow. So I could be prospecting and fishing, looking out for 10, 15 different prospects. But you see, because there are 15 different prospects that I'm prospecting, I'll sponsor more people over the month because I have more people I'm looking at and prospecting. So the speed also depends on how many different prospects that you are fishing out there that you're looking out for and you're trying to attract your business. If you're looking out for just one prospect, guess what? It's going to be a very slow process trying to get people on board, trying to show them that New Life has something to offer that they actually do need. But if you have about 15 prospects you're looking at, and you have the right plan, how do we talk about the right plan? You know that once you have this people on the name list, you know that the next step is going to be to contact them. So you're going to give them a phone call, ask them how they've been, ask them that you have a business that you're doing and you'd like to share with them for about 30 minutes. what this business is about, you know. And then after that, you're going to bring them in for a one-on-one. Then from the one-on-one, you're going to expose them to the bigger meeting. You're going to bring them to meet your upline, to come to Imperial or Arena, wherever. So you will realize that all these things work hand in hand, you know. And then when you are also fishing, you tend to listen more, you talk less. You know, so many times when people are fishing, when people are hunting, they tend to talk more. Yeah, but it's important that you appreciate that a person that is into fishing, you are doing more listening. When you go into a funerals kind of setup, you're doing more listening than talking. When you go into a wedding kind of setup, you're doing more listening. When you're in that matatu, you're in that public means vehicle, you're doing more listening than talking. When you are at work with your workmates, you're doing more listening than talking. Yeah, because you're looking and seeing how best can I be able to attract individual? What areas can I be able to look at in order to attract that individual to want to look at my new life opportunity? Okay. And it's also important for you to also note that you need to fish where the fish are. You know, we usually talk about people that are your level and above. Okay. If it so happens to be that, okay, your work happens to be with the unprivileged, somewhere in some slums, and you have to help them come up, it may not be such a good place for you to fish, simply because the people you are probably moving in may not be as ready to take on this opportunity based on their circumstances. You might want to change. You know, you can't be a teacher and you're trying to sponsor your students. Okay. You're a primary school teacher, you're a secondary school teacher, you're trying to sponsor your students. Probably that is not the fish. The fish is the parents of the students. You know, that teacher, that parent that comes complaining to you about how the school fees are not manageable, and if that's the right fish to look at. That's the right person to prospect, you know. So you also need to be very mindful that you need to go where the fish are. You cannot be trying to fish where there is no fish. Okay. Then you also have to understand today, and this is a very important for all of you that on the call this morning, the fish are getting smarter, that people have come to been exposed to different forms of businesses out there. And people are very, very, very aware. They're very skeptical these days to look at certain forms of businesses, you know, but you have to understand what kind of business you've got. We have products, and these products are key and essential. And out of these products, you can actually build a business just like the way you build a business in any other products out there. But that is just a summary of what I'm going to share with you now. You have to have your questions, sorry, your answers to the questions ready with the different individuals. You know, people have questions, they have legitimate questions to ask you about this opportunity, and you must be ready with those answers. That's why, as a distributor, when you get started, please do some reading. Take some time to understand. I mean, you've been to the university, you've read for 3 years, or even you've done a diploma, you've done 2 years of reading to come out and try and practice a skill. We're asking you in your life, do a little bit of reading. You know, it's not even going to take you a month. Do a bit of reading, understand the kind of business you're in. That on your life book is very key. You know, understand the kind of business you're in so that you can be able to answer and talk to different people and help them understand the kind of opportunity that you're in. But just to let you know, these days, the prospects are getting smarter. And you also need to upgrade, make sure that you're getting more knowledge, you're getting more information so that you can be able to actually help those people. So that's why when we are meeting people, we use this as conversation. You know, family. How is your family? Occupation. What do you do? Recreation. What do you do in your free time? Motivation. That FORM is a very important technique to ensure that you know how to fish. This is what I've been using to fish all these years. You know, uh, just meeting up with someone and strategically creating a conversation where I am asking, not like an interrogator, like a police officer, but I'm asking questions that are going to give me information about how I can actually be of use in this person's life, how the new life opportunity can be of help to them, you know. And then the other very important thing that you have to learn how to do in terms of fishing, you need to learn how to answer the question, what do you do? You know, you should answer it fluently and naturally. Your answer should be very concise, brief, comprehensive. So when someone asks me, Andrew, what do you do? And my default answer is that one, have done engineering. I'm a lawyer by profession. I also have a business that I do that brings in, imports very high quality cleaning products. And I'll explain the products. I'll say, these products are biodegradable and non-toxic. And the person will usually ask, okay, so tell me more about that. And that's when I'll tell them that you have some 20 minutes next week, or do you have some 20 minutes tomorrow, and have a discussion, further discussion. So the way you answer the question, what do you do? Yes, you have a job, you're a teacher, you are an accountant, you are this, you're that, but you have to strategically bring in your new life solutions. Sometimes people will ask you what you do, and say someone could say, I help people to prevent chronic diseases. Or you could say, I'm a teacher, but I also help people prevent chronic diseases. You could also say, I'm looking for another profession. You could also say, I'm an accountant, and I also help farmers increase their yields. Those are all ways of fishing and looking very attractive to the prospect. So you have to be very, very mindful of that as well. And then, just a minute. Moving fast. Yeah, and then you also have some other questions. If I could show you how you could make some additional income every month, part-time, without disturbing whatever you're doing currently, would you be willing to give me 20 minutes? Yeah, so all these are conclusive questions that actually lead you to attracting someone to you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, remember like why we started. If you are, when you wake up in the morning, like this morning, Monday morning, your work is to go out there and fish. It is not to go out there and hunt. Go out there chasing after which customer, which prospect is going to buy products. You want these prospects, first of all, look at the opportunity and look at it as an option for them to be able to do as a business. However, if the prospects are uninterested, they are not they're not excited about the business. They're not as excited about doing this opportunity. That's when you become a hunter. Because I believe everybody on this planet, 9 billion of us, maybe we shall not all do the business, and that's okay. I mean, we still need people to watch cars. We still need people to treat us. We still need people to do what? To count our books. I mean, everybody has their line. We still need people to teach our children. It is okay. But everybody has to become a customer. Everybody needs our products. They don't have TNN, they don't have carotid complex, they don't have omega-3. Every single person. That's why it's important to understand that in the event that attracting an individual to come and look at the opportunity so that they can build it as a business for themselves. In the event that that fails, then you become a hunter. So everybody that does not take up the opportunity is a person that you can go after byproducts. That's important for you to appreciate. That's why when now you get started and you get things going, it's important that you understand the difference between, because sometimes some of us are trying to hunt by sponsoring, and then we are trying to fish by getting people to buy our products. No, the process is that we go through fishing, we attract people, we look good, we do everything possible to attract people to look at the opportunity. They're the ones that come to be sponsored because we are offering them an opportunity, and that process is fishing. In the event that that process has failed, then we turn into hunters so that we can now get them to use our products. Because whereas everybody may not get the opportunity and they may be well off wherever they are, at least every single person uses our products. That's why every time someone is not interested in the opportunity, the business, it's important that you show them the product side as well, and you remain chasing them as product users. Okay, so once you've turned your nose into customers, that's how we turn our nose into customers. We become hunters. The purpose of hunting is to sell products. So you don't sponsor people by hunting. You sponsor people by fishing. You sell products by hunting. Are we together? So your customers, most of your customers are people that will appreciate the whole hunting bit. And then, of course, your products must look good when you go out to hunt. And then, yeah, that's when now you're allowed to offer free samples. So anytime you feel like you're offering free samples, you're giving people transport refund, but anytime you're doing anything of that nature, just know you're hunting. And like I said, in conclusion, from the beginning, the way you meet people, if you meet people and you sponsor them through hunting, that is how you're going to continue hunting them even after they become distributors. You'll go looking for them all over to try and come back and do the business. But if you sponsor people through fishing and that is the right way to sponsor people. What is going to eventually happen? People will take responsibility of their business. They will want to do the business. They'll be attracted to the business. They'll be doing things without you necessarily having to remind them. And if you're now having a challenge in your business, in your team, and you're chasing after so many people in your team to come and do the business, even after they became distributors, it's because you were hunting when you sponsored them. Now you have to go through the process of probably fishing them again as distributors in order to bring them back and be able to appreciate that bit. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to stop here. It has been a very good morning having to share with you some of these principles. It's not something that you learn. It's not something that you learn almost immediately, but it's something that you practice with skills. Over a period of time, you just have to be intentional about what you're doing. You need to ask yourself, am I fishing? Am I hunting? And always remember the back of your mind. If you're going to sponsor, you need to be fishing. If you're going to hunt, then probably you're selling the products. When you wake up in the morning, you wake up to fish. But if the person you're trying to fish, you're prospecting, is not coming through, then you turn that person into a customer, and then that way you can now start hunting. You can call them endlessly. You can SMS them endlessly. There's no reason to wait. You can give free samples of products, and you do all that in that way. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to end it here. It has. We wish you a very wonderful week. See you tomorrow for our product session. God bless.